Oh, welcome to our 2023 Wildwood 273 Qbxl. Starting right in your back bumper here, if you're just going to reach in, pull that cap out of there. Inside of the back bumper, you're going to find your sewer hose. Take note of those two ears in the adapter here. It's I'll be hooking it up to your sewer system. And the hose itself, once fully extended, is about 20 feet long. Just keeping it stored in the bumper back here to help keep any sort of stench out of the unit, keep things a bit fresher, and then that cap just presses back into place. In this corner, as well as each corner of the trailer, you're going to find these stabilizer jacks here. All they do is they run down, contact the ground, give it another turn or so just to firm it up, and that'll get rid of any sort of bounce or sway that you see you got in the unit right now, just to keep things firm while you're out camping. Additional to that, you've got that JT strong arm. So basically, you just have that little T-latch there. You're going to loosen that off. Allows the two bars to telescope inside of themselves. So as you bring that stabilizer jack down, it'll kind of telescope. Once you have it set, you can lock it back down, and that'll just prevent any sort of forward and back movement. Kind of up from there, you get your short cord inlet. So as you pop it open, you're going to find a little notch in the bottom corner there. It's going to line up with this notch here. Press those in together, and then a little 1/8 turn will lock it down into place. Then you get the threaded collar in the back there to properly lock it down. As you follow the cord back, you're going to find a standard 30 amp end there. Most campsites will have that. You can just plug straight on in and you're good to go. We do also provide you with a 15 amp adapter, so if you're looking to plug in at home to charge your batteries or run your fridge, you got the power to do so. Another step ahead from there, we get your sewer system. So you're just going to kind of press on that cap and give it a turn. You can pop it on out of there. You see it's got the same two ears on it that your sewer hose had. It'll attach the same way, just pressing it in, turning it until it locks in. On the left, you get a black valve. On the right, you get a gray. Black valve is controlling your black tank. Black tank is filled from your toilet, so it's of course going to be your dirtiest water, so we want to dump that first. Once that's done, you can then come to the gray. Gray tank is going to be filled from your sinks as well as your shower. Typically cleaner water. We'll dump that last to help keep that sewer hose as clean as possible. Towards the front of the unit now, and we have your storage compartment here. So as you open this up, you're going to find your water hose. Inside of your water hose, you're going to find your park adapter. So your 30 amp cord to there, 15 to a standard household outlet. Customers also opted to go with the weight distribution hitch, so we just got that stored in here for them as well. Down in the front here, you're going to find that stabilizer jack. Works the exact same as the way in the back, just that JT strong arm goes towards the front and center of the unit, so you kind of got to reach under there a bit. Around front, you get a battery disconnect switch right in the back here, so you just have that little keyway with it pointed up. That's it, of course, turned on. If you were to turn it all the way out and pop it out of there, that's your battery then, of course, disconnected from the system. So whenever you're leaving the unit, you want that disconnected. Otherwise, you just leave that turned on. Battery itself is housed inside of this box right here. So as long as you're plugged into that short cord in the back or your 7-pin to your tow vehicle, that battery is charging for you. These two knobs here, if you loosen them off, push them back, you get access to your propane tanks. They're just teed into the same regulator. So basically, all you're going to do is run off of one tank. Once things stop working, you'll just close this one off, run off of the other one when you get the one filled. In front's a power tongue jack, so you get a light switch on top, and then on the bottom there, up is up, down is down. Other side of your unit here, we get the other end of your storage compartment. As you pop that open, magnetic latch. Right here, you're going to find that dry erase surface as well, so if you've got to make any notes, you can stick them up right there. In here, you're going to find that little laundry hamper, so you can kind of get a better look at that once we get inside of that front bedroom. Right behind it all, you get your manual jacks there as well. So you have the little bit down here for doing your stabilizers. This big silver one is going to be for your tongue jack up front, and then the open-ended one is for running those T-latches on the strong arms. Little rubber bumper there just for the door, so if it does swing open, you're not going to be breaking anything. Water heater's right beside it. You just take that keyway there, line it up, and you can pop it on open. All your controls for turning it on are just inside the unit. For on propane, for turning it on with electricity, you just get a little switch down here, flip that on, turns it on with electricity. Before turning it on with either source though, you just want to hit this relief valve right there. You should get that water coming out. If you're not getting any water coming out of there, there is a chance that it's empty, and you do run the risk of burning out your elements. So you just want to make sure that's filled up before you go firing it up. Once you're done, just kind of lining up those two bottom posts there, tuck it into place, lock it with the keyway. Besides that, your freshwater inlet, your water hose is going to stick into there, turn on the water, and that'll fill up your freshwater tank. The drain for it's just this gate valve right there. Just open that up, it drains itself out, super simple. Straight up from there, you're going to find your exterior stove vents. Of course, propane stove is putting off fumes, so you just want to make sure that this flap here is opened up so that our fan inside can evacuate them. Once you're done, just kind of pressing it into place until it clicks. And that'll kind of prevent any dust from kicking up in there while you're out traveling. Up from there's your two exterior speakers there as well. Kind of down between them above the axle here, we get your exhaust for your furnace. So if you're ever running a furnace, you just make sure it's not blocked off. It does get hot. GFI protected outlet out here, as well as a cable and satellite outlet. So if you're looking to have TV outside, you got the power to do so. Your exterior kitchen here, magnetic latch holds it open. 120 volt fridge in here. As long as you're plugged in, it is going for you. This hose in here is going to tie right into our little quick connect right back here. You get this little port you're going to pop open. There's a little wing kind of in the two sides there. It's going to line up those two little notches. Press them in together, little eighth turn will lock it into place, and then that's this here hose tied into your cold water system. No hot water, of course, just cold, and then you have the little garden hose end with all the different settings there. Once you're done, you're just going to kind of press on it and give it a turn, pop it out of there. It is good practice just to kind of stretch it out, make sure it's drained out before you're storing it away. And we'll just tuck it back in the fridge here. Exterior stove right beside it, so you get the little griddle, just pops on out. Once you have it out all the way, you have this little latch in the back. You're just going to kind of lock that down. Oh, no, that doesn't do anything there. All right, so that will prevent it from kind of closing. So I'll just kind of adjust that once we're done here. You also have this propane here, of course. So you're just going to undo that quick connect. So you're just going to pull that black collar back, then you can undo it. Right in the back of the stove, you get your connection for it. Pull that collar back again, lock it into place. And then to the back of the unit, you get the same sort of quick connect back here. So you're just going to pull that dust cap out and push that collar back, attach our hose. Once that hose is attached, you have this valve here. You're going to open it up. With that valve open, you cannot undo that quick connect, so it's just kind of an added safety. Now that we got it all set up, you can come to the knob here. You kind of press it in and just turning it past light, and there she goes. Once you're done, just turning it back off, letting it cool down, close off the flow of propane. Pull our hose out of there, same thing at the back. And then I just like to attach the hose to itself, just ensures that nothing's going to get inside of there, and store it back away. In the back of the unit here, you get your spare tire. In the center is your city water connection, so your water hose will plug into there, turn on the water, and that'll pressurize the lines throughout the unit. Beside it is your black tank flush, so you may notice over time after having gone and dumped your black tank, your monitor panel is still reading a third or 2/3, whatever it may be. Typically, it's just some debris inside of the tank hanging between the probes. What you can do is take your water hose, plug it into there, open up your black valve, turn on the water, and that'll just flush out that tank for you. Cable and satellite inlet there. Coax cable plugs into the respective ports, fires up your TV location. Straight up from there, you'll find a pre-mounted receiver for the ladder, and then in the center there's the pre-wired mount for a rear view or observation camera. So now we'll make our way inside of the unit here. Your assist handle just up 90 degrees and it falls into place, and you can open up your door. So with your door wide open, take note where it hits that little bumper there. And it does just miss your awning, but it is good practice if you're going to be running that awning to just kind of have that door, making sure that it's cleared. Your blue latch here, you're going to pull that in towards the center, and you can pop out your stairs. These little tabs there, if you to push those in, you can extend or retract your legs just based on your campsite needs. As you come inside, first things first, right on the left, you get your fire extinguisher. That's standard. Pull the pin, point, and shoot. Up the wall from there, you get your dimmer switch. You're going to touch that, and that'll turn on all your interior lights. Press and hold, and they'll dim down. Continue holding, they'll dim back up. Release the dimmer switch at any point and select that level of lighting. This switch right here is going to be your slide out switch. Press and hold out at the top of it and the slide will make its way out. Once that slide's fully extended, we're just going to hear some whines from the motors letting us know they've reached their stall. Then they'll square themselves off and turn off themselves. There you have it. Right beside it is your awning switch. Press and hold the top of that and your awning will make its way out. Sorry, the bottom of that and your awning will make its way out. Don't quite have room to get out all the way today, but once it is out all the way, you will see a little white flap come down as well as the black of the metal tube. Once you see that, you'd stop. If you're to continue extending, it can actually wind itself up backwards, in which case your fabric would be underneath the tube, allowing it to then hold water, accelerating the growth of mold and mildew. If it were to start raining, it's of course going to hold some water anyways. So what you can do is grab either arm, front, or rear. You're just going to pull straight down on it. And you can see that changes the pitch of the awning out at the head, allowing water to then run off. If you like that angle better because it does give you more shade, you can do the same thing with the arm up front. Before you bring it back in though, you just want to make sure these arms are back out straight and fully extended, just so you're not running the risk of bending them. And then we can press and hold the top of that switch and the awning will make its way back in. Again, you'd just be watching to make sure that your fabric stays over top of the tube. And just kind of while we're waiting for that guy to come in, these two light switches here, the one on the right is going to do that accent light above your slides. The one on the left is the awning light itself, so you kind of get a look at that there. And the last thing to keep in mind with your awning is it does catch a lot of wind, so once you get up to about 15-20 kilometers an hour wind, you want to bring it back in, again, just so you're not running the risk of bending your arms. Okay. The two red switches here, the one on the left is your water pump switch. So as you turn that on, just turns on your water pump, drawing out of your fresh tank to pressurize your lines. Beside that's your water heater switch. So as you turn that on, you get that little red light up there letting you know your ignition sequence will start. Once that sequence is started, that light will go out. It's going to try that 3 times. If after the third try it hasn't fired up, this light's going to come on and stay on. At that point, just off, back on to reset it. So there's the igniter. There's the flame. Oh. There's the first try. Well, I suspect it's hot still just because I was just running it. There we go. There we go. So that's it going now. All good. Right. Then on the top here, you get your monitor systems. On the left, you have battery. You can see we're currently C for charging. G would be good. F is spare. L is low. Your fresh tank, as you fill that up, will go to 1/3, 2/3, and full. Same idea for your black and your gray tanks. The gray tank's just filled with antifreeze right now, just because we did just summarize the unit. Into the front bedroom here. Then your light switch is just right up on the wall there. Blinds throughout the unit, just kind of sit where you leave them. Once you're done, just kind of give them that snap and they pop back up. That little laundry hamper space here, just right there, it's easy accessible. Closet space on either side is also CPAP access, so you do have a power outlet in there as well. If you pick up the foot of your bed, you do get access to your front storage compartment, as well as the little cubbies there. On this front wall here is your TV backer. Straight up from there is your cable and satellite outlet port, as well as your power outlet. This window here is your emergency exit. You're pulling that red tab to get rid of the screen. Take this handle here, throw it outside, hop on out. The same sort of CPAP access in this closet here. Now into the front entertainment area. So you have, of course, a TV backer right there, basically just sharing the same one from the bedroom. All your cables would run down through there to your cable and satellite outlet on top, antenna outlet in the bottom. Turning that antenna on is just that little button there. It will also help clear up your stereo signal, and you can see you are prepped for Wi-Fi. Stereo itself is pretty straightforward. Power button in the center there. Select is going to get through all of your settings, mode through all of your inlets, volume controls on the right side. Zone 1 is the soundbar itself. Zone 2 is your outside set of speakers. Storage on either side. And on the fireplace here, power button on the right. Center right, you get that flame color. In the center, you have bottom illumination. Center left is your low or high fan. And then on the far left is a timer of 30 minutes up to 9 hours. Power button there once you're done. In the slide out, your 2 lights here just on their own center push buttons. This here they're calling the Chase Lounge. So basically the big piece to it is that this piece here is on that little leg there. Pops on out of here. You can see it sits in that little pocket. You can flip it around to this side here where it's got the same 2 pockets. If you had it there, it then of course creates your kind of lounge area. There we go. All right. Then you have this filler piece here that would attach to that Velcro. And this piece here to complete it. All right. This piece here also folds down, so you can take that, turn it down to the bed. You can also take the dinette, wiggle it up and out of its legs. The legs will then wiggle out of their bases. there is the 3 ledges there that the table will sit down onto. Take your back cushions, fill in the center, and you can create one big bed. Towards the front there is your smoke detector. Right. Some storage up top here. Inside of here, you're going to find this binder. Binder's got all of your owner's manuals in it, any remotes, any keys, anything like that, you'll find right in there. Right down below it is a little light. Again, just center push button. Hot and cold water at the sink. Storage underneath it, just be mindful of your drains and your water lines. If you're looking to winterize the unit yourself once it comes time, access to your hot water tanks is right there. Drawer space here. Microwave up top, pretty standard, just like home. Lights as well as a fan. So this is that fan that you want turned on with that flap outside opened up. For the stove, the bifold cover just flips on back. Take a knob, turn it over to high. Hit it with the sparker and she fires right up. Once you're done, just turning it back off, letting it cool down and closing it off again. For the oven, you're going to open that up, turn that knob on the right over to the little flame. And again, just hitting the sparker. Once that pilot light gets going, you just hold the knob for another couple seconds, then you can release and the flame will hold itself. Turn up to your desired temperature and she fires right up. Again, once you're done, just turning it back down to pilot. It'll hold just the pilot light for you, but if you're traveling, you want to make sure it goes right off. Button on the right side does all of the lights. 12-volt fridge here. As long as you're plugged in, this guy's going for you. Your freezer up top and your fridge down below. Return air for your furnace is right underneath that, so just kind of making sure it's not blocked off. Around the corner, you get your thermostat. The bottom bar there is going to wake it up. Press it once, it'll come into fan low. That's, of course, just moving air around. Fan high, again, just moving air. Cool high is where the compressor is going to come in and out as needed, leaving that high fan on all the time. Cool low, same idea, just now it's using the low fan. Cool low auto is where it becomes an on-demand system where both the compressor and the fan will come in and out as needed. Only using the low fan though. Cool high auto, same idea, just now we're using the high fan. Temp selection at any points just with your arrows. With the air conditioner going, you got 2 different options. You can have these 2 louvers here closed, in which case we'd be using all of our ceiling ducting to move the air. Or you can open them up and it just dumps all of its air into the living room here. So when you first get out to your campsite, you want these open, cool off this air as quickly as possible, then you can close them off and start moving the air throughout. After cool high auto, you hit that bar again, it'll come down into heat, turn off the air conditioner and turn on your furnace. Furnace will be moving its air through some little black portals that'll kind of point out as we go. All right. After heat, you hit that bar again, it comes down into off, just turns everything off. Straight down from there is your LP detector. Propane's heavier than air, sits on the floor. That guy detects and starts going off just like a smoke detector. Into the bathroom, your light switch is right on the left there. Your toilet just flips on open, you get your flusher on the right side. Up on the wall here is your GFI protected outlet, test on the bottom, reset on top. So if you ever have outlets that don't work, it's the first thing you should check. Straight up from there is your your roof vent. Just gonna press and hold, turn that knob to open it up. Back corner, you get the switch, turn on the fan. Your medicine cabinet just opens on up. You get this little tongue right there that holds onto this elastic back here as your travel strap. Hot and cold water, your sink, of course. A little bit of storage underneath it, just being mindful of your drains and your water lines. The shower behind me just flips on open. You get magnetic latches once it's closed. Hot and cold water, of course. Some pantry space here, pretty well just open closet space, really. And then the back bunk room. All the lights back here just on their own push buttons. You also got a light underneath this bunk here. So that little black portal is a furnace outlet for you. This bunk here, if you pick that up, you can bring it up out of the way, and you get the same sort of couch here that folds down. Right. And then straight across from there, you get some storage, cable and satellite outlet. There's a TV backer in the wall there as well. And then for your power converter here, you're going to press the top and center to pop it on open. All of your breakers are in the middle. Whenever a breaker breaks, it sits in the center, so just turn it off and then back on to reset it. On the right side is all of your fuses. Whenever a fuse pops, you'll get a little red LED right beside it, letting you know exactly which one went. So that's about it for this unit. If you've got any other questions on it, please feel free to give us a call, 204-237-7272.